back, everyone. I'm Jennifer, and this is Soul Moon Rising. So we have finished our series on chakras, and it's time to get into energy work. If you would like to watch the chakra video, I will link the playlist right up here so that you guys have a chance to work through all the chakra videos. Lots of great information there. But today, we're going to talk about Kundalini energy. So it's just a conversation today. So I've got my tea, I've got a bottle of water in case I finish that, and we're just going to have a discussion about what Kundalini energy is and kind of a little bit about awakenings and, you know, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, let's get started. Kundalini energy. I know it's kind of a big thing going on. It's not really a big thing. It's been around for centuries, to be honest. So, you know, us Westerners are just really starting to get into it and learn about it. But honestly, most of us have probably experienced it sometime in our lives, whether it's through friends or relatives or through yourself. So let's talk about what it is at its core. Now, Kundalini is just a word for a specific type of energy. Kundalini is actually the Indian word for it, the Hindu word for it. It's found in all kinds of different cultures. It's not just a Hindi thing. It's not a Buddha thing. It's literally in every single culture across time. So, I mean, it's widespread. It has tons of different names, but right now it's recognized as Kundalini. And at its core, it's all about love, self-love, love of others. It's all about love and giving it, receiving it. Basically, that's pretty much it. That's the very, very core of what it is. I've heard of things like Kundalini awakening or Kundalini yoga or Kundalini meditation. Basically, the yoga and meditation just use the energy of the Kundalini. So they focus on the different aspects of it. But basically, Kundalini is an energy that starts at your root chakra. Okay, so it is kind of warming, and it tends to go up the spine until it meets the masculine divine at your crown. So I'm going to give you a very brief Hindi story on Kundalini. So the female divine was rooted in the root chakra, and she was kind of trapped there while her masculine counterpart was in the heavens up towards the crown. So in order to meet him, this is her lover, her partner, she had to travel up the spine through all the chakras of the person where she resided to reach him. And in order to do this, her little kind of egg, so to speak, that was rooted in the root chakra, that was at the center of the root chakra, had to be cracked open. So the being that she was within had to literally crack her open with some like rock bottom issue. Okay, so and then she would rise up and meet her masculine counterpart. So that is a very, very basic of the Hindi story. Now, notice still at its core, it's about feminine meeting masculine and, becoming one. It's about balance. It's about love. She has to break free of her prison with, somebody actually hitting rock bottom before she can reach to her masculine divine. So, pause that. Sorry. Oh, love me some tea. Start every morning with a cup of tea. Anyway, so she has to be in this person until they hit their rock bottom. Now, what does that look like? Okay, this can be different for everybody. It could be financially. Most of the time it's emotionally. Somebody that has hit a deep depression, they've got severe anxiety. There's those people that they're in themselves and they just feel down and like they can't get back up and they don't know why. That right there is the base of when a Kundalini awakening happens. So when that person is able to go, why am I feeling this way? It doesn't make any sense. Nothing's happened to make me feel depressed. And it's stupid for me to be like this. When that person has that kind of aha moment, the egg cracks. And that's when they can start letting the light of love into their lives again. And sometimes it's a very gradual process. Sometimes it's almost instantaneous. The almost instantaneous ones, however, tend to have a lot of pain that they go through. Think of a growth spurt, okay? When somebody has a severe growth spurt as a child, they tend to get a lot of growing pains. And the Kundalini awakening is the same. If you have a huge spurt of energy all at once, it could hurt. I mean, you could get, back pain, neck pain. You could think of where your chakras are lining up, okay, along the spine. The Kundalini energy flows through your spine. So in that area is where you're going to get your pain if it's a sudden awakening. People awaken very slowly. It's kind of a gradual process over so many months, sometimes years. And they may not even fully be aware of what's going on until it's over. I know personally I was that way. I just felt I was actually suffering from postpartum depression after my last child. I have 4. So it was kind of a drastic thing, and I knew in my head something was wrong, but in my being, I just felt this heaviness that I couldn't get over. And so I started searching. My search led me to energy healing, Reiki, crystal Reiki, crystals in general. Even though I'd always loved them before, I turned to learning all kinds of different things about the soul and the chakras and how they worked and intuition and all these kinds of different things, which eventually led me out of it. And now that I'm at the end, I can recognize that was a Kundalini awakening for me. That's what it looked like for me. Now, it's different for everybody. It could be you hit rock bottom and you have to go through a divorce, or you have a bunch of family members die within the same year, or, it could be really anything. It could be something not quite as drastic as that. You could have failed a chem test in college or high school or whatever, and it just compounds, and eventually you get there and you get to be at peace again and feel the love and be able to give love in return. And it's an amazing feeling, guys. If you've never gone through it, it's very hard to actually explain it to a person. But now that I'm on the other side, I can kind of explain it. So you feel this shift, which would be the egg cracking, and you feel the warmth, kind of like, okay, I'm totally going to use a Disney reference here, guys. So if you've ever seen Frozen, right? When Elsa accidentally freezes Anna's heart, okay? She has to give her a hug to unfreeze her. So the thawing of Anna's heart is a symbolic thing for a Kundalini awakening. So you feel the heat rise up within you, and then you are more able to show love to other people as well as yourself. Sometimes yourself is the last one to get the love, which is really common, especially if you have children or people that you take care of. Sometimes we forget about ourselves, but this is a reminder, do not forget about yourself. I give you permission to take time for you. So really that was my experience with a Kundalini awakening. Now, yoga and meditation take those principles and that feeling of that rising love to move the body, to reach out to other realms, your divine, your higher self, the universe, whatever you believe in, and really bring in the messages that they have for you to keep living, a high vibe life. And that's really kind of what it's about, is the Kundalini awakening. It's in everybody, but not everybody gets to achieve it before their time here is past. If you happen to know somebody that is going through a really, really hard time, the absolute best thing that you can do for that person is to show them love. If you are that person going through a very difficult time and you always just feel down, I mean, right now on this planet, there is like an astronomical amount of people that suffer from depression and clinical depression. It's like severe. Even bipolar, lot of lower emotional issues is what I would call them. Basically, those, in my opinion, those people are on the verge of a Kundalini awakening. And they're just waiting for that trigger in themselves, somebody to come along and just flick that switch, and it all gets the ball rolling. So remember, guys, Kundalini at its heart is about love. Showing it for yourself, for others. It's about learning who you are sometimes, really. I know for me, I learned a whole lot about myself during my awakening. I would love to hear your guys' experience with this. So if you've had a Kundalini awakening or you're in the midst of one, I would love to hear your story. So leave me a comment and let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion about this, and maybe we'll end up with a part 2 video on Kundalini awakenings, or more on Kundalini energy in general. So that's all I have for today, guys. I just wanted to chat with you guys about it and hear what you have to say. So if you've enjoyed this content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring the little bell so that you get notifications on whenever we post. And from my light to yours, namaste.